connected with you at CultureCon. I'm like, listen, I hear what you're saying,
Mm-hmm.
and you're doing the thing.
Yeah.
You just want it right now because you see this person doing it right
Yeah.
now, but you don't know how they got there and
Right.
what they're doing it for, right? So I'm glad that stuck with you
Mm-hmm.
because I'm like, seeing you develop and blossom and having a conversation a year and some change later,
Yeah.
it's like a completely different field.
Welcome back to another episode of Keeping It a Bean. Keeping It a Bean is a podcast that brings together commentary and conversation all over a cup of coffee, or in today's case, tea. It's too late to be drinking some coffee, and a little too hot for real,
Water for me.
Water over here. If you are new here, my name is Marquise Davon. Keese, this American Negro, but never Mark, because y'all be trying it every time. And it just keeps happening more and more. At this point, I think y'all doing it despite me, and I'm sick of your shit. But if you are also returning, you already know what it is. Hello to niggas and niggas only. This is the vibe. This is the space to be at. And this is my way of inviting you into my favorite space, which is a cafe. So welcome to Cafe Keese. Yes. There are a couple ways that you can support this here podcast, and you can do so monetarily and non-monetarily. If you want to, invest in this black man over here, you can do so by going to patreon.com/Marquise Davon. That's MarquiseDavon. There you can get early releases of the episodes, fully unedited. No point. You're just able to get this weeks ahead of time. There's about 7 episodes in this queue right now. Support. Because you're not using your Planet Fitness at all, so you might as well stop wasting your money and come to me. Netflix a little expensive. Come support over here. It's okay. $2, which is $24 a year, I think it's an investment. But I understand economic anxiety. We're kind of in a recession, all that good stuff. So you can also support me non-monetarily by keeping up with the hashtag KIAB or keeping it being on Twitter. If you are looking at these two very lovely faces here as well, that means you are looking at us on YouTube. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and don't forget to hit the notification bell. However, if I am your favorite Monday morning drive, when I drop every Monday morning, you can also subscribe to me on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. There, make sure to leave a rate and review. This helps podcasters show up on the algorithm much better if it's like other podcasts as well. But also we show up on different playlists. So please make sure that you are supporting this here, black man. That is all. Thank you. PSA. So I've been doing this for 7 years. I better get this script right. Right up here. Right in the dome. Dog, I'm so excited to get into this conversation. Y'all, this guest, I've been a fan of his since Love at First Night. Oh, okay. Yes. Oh, taking it back. He is an actor. He is a host. He is a commentator. He is a personality. He is a good friend. He is somebody who's given me advice as well, and I'm so appreciative of this human right here. Kyle Price, KP. The man, the myth, the legend. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show.
I'm actually really glad to be here because I've seen you evolve since the last time we were on the podcast, and I'm like, you're doing it, and I'm like, when we circle back, I always spin the block on good people just to check in and do all that good stuff. So I'm glad to be here. Thank you for having me, yo.
You already know. No, seriously, for me, it's been so dope to just watch you, especially as a fan, but also getting to know you more intimately now. Conversations here and there. Honestly, some of the stuff you said to me at CultureCon last year has been sticking with me and has been such a driving force for me to remain true to myself, which we'll get into a little bit later.
Okay.
However, we're going to start off first, a nice little icebreaker.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
We are going to start off with the Keeping It a Bean segment. So this is Keeping It a Bean, Keeping 100. It's your hot take, whatever you want to talk about.
Keep it a bean.
Yeah, very much so. And so I always let the guests start. What do you want to keep it a bean about today?
You know what? I thought about something because I was like, I had to sit down and be like, what am I keeping a bean about?
Right.
I want to enjoy the Olympics right now.
Oh.
But there's a whole genocide going on. And I'm like, I can't
Talk about it.
Israel, it's real quiet for you right now. I can't even enjoy the game. I'm trying to watch LeBron dunk on you, but I'm can't do that. So I'm like, I'm kind of worried about it, but it also, I'm conflicted because we do need to talk about other things that are going on. That's the privilege of what we have and being on podcasts and
being
looking
in
at
America,
it. And
pontificating, all that stuff.
Playing sports and all that. But just remembering that there's duality with all these things. It's yes, we can care about this thing greatly, but then also we compare, just enjoy shit from time to time. So
I think there's such a tension to try and figure out like when do we get to enjoy this thing, especially because like even look at the Olympics, it's like a tension we have to deal with because I'm like, do I really fuck with America like that?
Yeah, because when Beyonce came out in that red, white, and blue, I was like, you know what? Maybe I am patriotic. It's okay.
Just for that moment.
Just for that moment. It's like once Yaya went off, I was like, you know what? Hate. Hate button. Hate it. Fuck those crackers. Right.
Yo, oh my goodness. No, it's so accurate though, because I was like, I feel like we're in such a complicated time because it's like an election year, it's the Olympics, and we have to reckon our own space of like our existence as Black people in America, and then also just be like, oh no, like LeBron and Coco are holding this flag for the Olympics, and then also at the same time, like, but what does this imagery really mean to us?
But see, here's the thing with that. Like, just with the day and age and time that we're in, everybody's hyper vigilant about everything because we have access 24/7 to see everything. Everywhere. Like, the narrative hasn't changed with this country over hundreds and thousands of years. Okay. So, like, because we're all just more aware of it and we have access to information that we probably didn't have before, that's making us question, like, should I be rallying, doing all these things too? But also sometimes I just want to turn my brain off.
Honestly,
I do. Keep it a bean. I want to turn my brain off. I'm like,
sometimes it's really how it is. I don't have to do this all the time. It's like when I be out in the club.
It's like, okay.
And I got
don't
2
hear
tequilas
the theory of relativity in the club. I'm trying to shake some ass.
Can I tell you, that's exactly what happened to me, though.
Was it the theory?
2 tequilas, not that specific theory, but I'm
saying,
I got
like
2 tequilas in hand. I'm double fisting. When if you ever see me out and about, my arms are up, my hips are moving, I am dancing and having a good time, singing off key, doing all the things.
It's true.
Very much so. Yes, yep, you have. But it'd be like that. And then I remember somebody came up to me in the club and was just like, yo, I really loved your episode where you were dismantling this idea around sexual politics or some shit like that. And I said, I don't have it in me right now.
And that's okay. And that's okay because boundaries,
Yeah.
I think that kind of piggybacks off of what we were just talking about. It's like, people just wanting to escape and wanting to connect with people and like when they're finding out new information and they see somebody like you who's like a master at what they do. It's like, I want to talk about you because like I don't know when I'm gonna see you again. So I'm just dump all this on you. It's like, just get it. Because literally going back to Love at First Night, when was that? Saturday. This Saturday.
Oh shit.
I was getting my face done.
Period. It looks good. Okay.
Yes, and it was I'm having a Kylie Bradshaw moment just to preface all of this.
Come on now.
Kylie Bradshaw. I'm out and about. It's lit for me. We're getting paid to party. We're out here. We're doing all the things, right? So I got my face done. And I'm walking around the corner randomly in the streets of New York. Somebody goes, "Oh my God, I know you." I was like, "You were on that show, Love at First Night?" And I'm like, "Well, yes." but also, my face is still glistening. I don't know what's going on. I'm trying to like, listen to everything. But they're trying to like dump on like, "Oh my God, I love this moment. How did you feel about this thing?" I'm like, well, that was like 10 years ago. So I'm like, I don't want to talk about that right now, but you can't say that to people. Right. It's like, you're not trying to be rude.
And that's what it is. I think I always have a struggle with it because there's parts and times where I'm just like, no, I'm so appreciative and I'm so grateful and I'm glad like I was able to have an impact. And Nick's trying to dance.
2 things can be true at the same time.
Duality.
I'm grateful, trying to shake some ass. Shaking some ass to gratitude. Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
You did that. Stupid. So annoying. But earlier, something that I admire about you is honestly, one, your ability to pivot in life, and it's all pivots that make sense to you. I think that to me is always super admirable. Wow, I could not use words today.
I would say sound it out.
I tried. I'm an English teacher. That was the sad part. I said words.
If Johnny had 5 apples.
If Johnny had.
That's my favorite running joke because I'm so like, nigga, you are dumb.
So you just take away 2.
Yeah. Always carry the 1. But yes, admiration.
Has been your drive to remain as authentic as possible to who you are, but also understanding like your stuff evolves and you are evolving as a person because even like the idea of you saying like, yeah, Love at First Night was 10 years ago. Yeah. Right. I am no longer that person. I'm in a different space right now. And so something I appreciate is that you are always someone who is just like, this is the thing I want. This is what I'm going after. And I know exactly what my plan is.
Right.
And that's something I can say, like, I admired about you, and I still admire about you, is like, when KP says you going to do something,
oh, yeah, it's going to get done.
oh, it's getting done.
Matter of fact, it's already done. I'm just letting you know
right
now. I'm just letting you know. Like, the thing is, I've always been super, super intentional about, like, how I move, how I show up for myself, for other people, my capacity, and stuff like that, and, like, how I want things presented.
Yeah.
And ever since Love at First Night, that was almost 10 years ago.
Yeah,
2016. That was a very, very important project for me to do, to just be like, one, that's how a lot of people found out I was gay. So I'm like, all right, well.
Oh, wow. I actually didn't know that.
We're doing butt stuff on a YouTube series. It's like, hey, Ma. Like, well, here you go.
Hey.
But yeah, mind you, so that does all the numbers that it does. And it's like very impactful. But just knowing that, like, just seeing so many people see themselves in my character, in the world that we created, it was like, okay, well, my mission is clear. So like I have to keep making intentional content like this, but then with every space that I enter and navigate, I gotta be intentional about the good and the bad of it.
Yes.
But also like let you know, like, this shit ain't easy. Like it's not easy.
And you make it look easy.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But it ain't.
But it's
like,
not, right? So. And I think that's like the coolest part, because I think you're also, to me, you're also world building, which I think is important, because you're somebody who entered, especially in the digital age as well. So you're telling stories that don't have to be complicated. You're telling stories that don't have to be complicated in the sense of like, I got to get through this like digital platform versus like getting on TV and a network and and all the red tape that comes with that.
Right.
And so I think you had such a wonderful advantage of, one, being on this show, but then two, going beyond that and understanding like your mission, right? And what I think you do super well, and something I'm actually curious around, is how do you manage to stay true to that mission, especially of representing Black queer men? And do you choose to have like that specific mantle of like, hey, this is a huge responsibility, and when you are in spaces that are more public facing, how have you been able to kind of navigate the balance of remaining to your humanity and also understanding like the platform you have is a window into what could be for Black queer men?
Well, first and foremost, I'm a real nigga.
Period.
So we can set the tone with that, right? But like, just, it's a little bit of this and a little bit of that, but then also just like being in a state of being lets you just understand your purpose. So I'm like, all right, well, yes, I understand. Like, I'm hyper visible in all these spaces, but my job isn't me.
Right.
Like, with the work that I'm doing isn't who I am. It's just an element of who I am.
Right.
So like, I'm able to look at the opportunity, how I enter the space, and do these things and just be super intentional about it. I don't feel any pressure because I don't be caring.
Okay.
Like, I
that's
really
valid
don't care.
though.
Because if I care, then I'll think about it too much.
Right.
And I'll like present something to you that's like I think you want, as opposed to who I actually am.
Oh,
so
I love
like
that.
I don't care. I just go in, do my best, forget it. But that's also a part of auditioning.
Yeah.
Like I've been rejected 2,700 million times. Like so it's like I kind of have an immunity to it.
Right.
But it's also allowed me to just be very aware of how I show up. This is how you have to do it. Like, this is what people are looking for. This is what you're looking for. How you find a happy medium of how you want to show up and what they need, right?
Right.
And then ultimately, I've always been intentional about, like, if I'm putting something out, I'm 100,000% happy with how it came up. So I'm not too high or too low off of how it's received. It's just moving with intention. You know?
Right.
So.
Which I think is so dope, because you were able to do that leading into not only just being an actor and doing these commercials, y'all. He's on a couple commercials. It's always nice when he pops up.
We're doing another one in a couple weeks. But
that's fine. That's fine. It's cool. It's casual flex.
I mean, you know.
But was that a struggle at first? Like, trying to control not coming off as how people wanted you to come off?
Yeah, absolutely. Because it's like, all right, well, like we were talking about before, they want you to be this thing. They want you to be everything that they saw. Like, even going to Instagram, as simple as that. Everything that you put on there are people perceive of these things. They want you to be that in that moment, like all the time. I'm like, nigga, I'm not like that.
No.
All the time. All the time, I would go insane. Like, I have everything together on Instagram, but it's a highlight reel.
Right.
These are flashes of people's lives that you want to see.
They also want you to see, right?
Right. But I'm also, just always built community first.
Yeah.
So I'm like, when I'm talking to people, I'm not talking to you like you're my fan. I'm not talking to you like anybody off the street. I was like, okay, I'm talking to you like a real nigga.
Yeah, not truly and honestly.
Really
like, we really here.
Right. Like, I'm not too far from anybody.
Yeah.
To like make it seem that I can't speak to you or I can't speak on certain things or I'm above critique or something like that. You know, and I think that helps me navigate my purpose because I'm like, listen, I'm not trying to be perfect. I'm trying to just be me.
Right.
And I'm not even trying. I am being me.
Yeah.
You know? So like, I don't know. It's not hard when you're just doing it. Like when you watch Dragon Ball Super?
No.
Does anybody watch Dragon Ball Super?
Over there.
Yes. Okay. So you know when Goku went autonomous Ultra Instinct, right? When you just moving and doing and flowing and doing, that's how I move. Like I'm just moving and flowing. I am intentional because I know what I'm doing. This is my purpose. My steps are already ordered. I get it. So like, all right, well, I don't got me nothing besides me because me got me till CultureCon stage. So
talk about it.
So nigga, I was like, no album, no show, no album out. CultureCon stage, right there, up there with everybody. I'm like, you know what? So I mean, you know, but the thing is, I also have a lot of audacity. Yeah. Because you got to.
Yes,
you have to
absolutely.
have like all the humbly speaking.
Yes.
Just having audacity to believe in a dream and believe in a purpose and be like, I don't think anything is far-fetched for me. Because if it's in my mind, then it's going to happen.
It's going to happen.
Whether it's today or if it's 20 years from now, it's going to happen, you know? And I think the biggest lesson that I've learned in this whole process is what does success look like to you? And always make sure that that's your marker, not how people are receiving things.
I'm going to let y'all sit with that because that right there, I think, is so important of like identifying what does success look like to you and knowing like that will eliminate the comparison, right? Yeah. Because now you're just like, what's for me is meant for me, and when it shows up, it will. And so that's what I think is like really dope around where you have been navigating, because that, speaking of CultureCon, it kind of leans into the advice that I always remember you telling me. You're like, yo, Keith, we all see the good morning to niggas and niggas only.
Yeah, we see it.
Yeah, and it's so dope because you were just like, there is going to be a time, like, you asked me the question, like, where do you want to go? Like, if that's the case, there's a different game that you have to play versus, like, you staying authentic to yourself. One, we are still able to see you, but it might take just a little longer because people have to catch up to the stuff that you're doing. Yeah. And that has stuck with me for ever since last year, because I'm just like, nah, this keeps me on space with like wanting to remain as authentic as possible, but I also see like how possible it was for you, right? Because once you moved into making it a moment, I'm like, because the first interaction I had with you was when you were you modeled for Mark's. He had
the Durag series.
Yes, the Durag series. And so I saw you there and was just like, yo, this niggas is fire. No, made no
Thank
sense.
you, first of all.
Yeah, so like that's my first physical interaction with you. Besides this, I was like, I know that guy. And I was too nervous to go up to him and be like, hey, like, were you on the show? Like, he's like in the room, like working the room.
Yes, I was. That was me, actually.
Yeah. But right now, I'm also looking at him and just admiring, like, one, as a model, how you were able to show up in that space, but also just staying true to this imagery that you were also presenting as well, which I thought was so important to see. And so, like, fast forwarding to CultureCon, I was just like, oh, KP is doing it, and he ended up on this CultureCon stage. You're also sitting here in commercials. You're sitting here on different stages. You are taking these auditions. You are doing everything, and knowing that it takes time, but also you believed in the vision so much that now they can't say nothing to you. You're doing collaborations with Spill. You're talking to Glad. You're doing all of the things. Yeah. And I'm just like, yeah, if anything, you served as a window for me as well of just like, oh, your time is coming.
Absolutely.
Right?
Like, because that's the thing. Everything takes time.
Yeah.
And you never know what people are sacrificing to get there.
Right.
And then also you can't just compare my journey to your journey, to his journey, to his journey, to anybody's journey. Because it's like, all right, well, you don't know what they went through to get there. Right. And as much as I want everything to go viral that I do, it don't. Sometimes a flop album is not a flop life. So it's like you have to have your flops and learn from that stuff. Yeah. So you can be prepared for that. Like even I'm good with the mic.
Let me lean in a little bit.
But no, like even the story in the road to CultureCon, right? I was doing those lives every day for a year and a half.
Dog,
right?
you was doing it.
For a year and a half. And I was like, listen, if I'm going to do this shit, I'm going to do it, right? So, like, even on days I don't feel like doing it, I'm going to do it. But it's like, I was so bad the first time. So bad. Like, it was like, nigga, what the fuck are you doing? but also, I was doing that for a year and a half and just critiquing myself because my Lord and Savior, Beyonce Giselle Knowles Carter.
We already know what it is.
Tells you to.
In this house, we do
and
this.
Because we have taste.
Okay. We know what it is.
But she said, she has this one clip that I always put up for myself. And like, also what keeps me grounded is I do things for myself. Like when I'm tweeting for myself. And if you catch it, you catch it.
Okay.
If you see the stories, I need to hear that today. So like, I'm gonna tell myself because you got to talk to a real nigga at some point.
Yeah, okay. And you looking real familiar.
Exactly.
Okay.
But back to what I was saying. Beyonce, she has this one clip when she was like, okay, people are afraid to practice because it will reveal where they're weak at.
Yes.
Right? And most people want all the guts, all the glory, and all this other good stuff.
Yeah.
And they want to skip right to the success part.
Right.
But you got to suck.
Yeah.
Allow yourself permission to suck at something new every day.
Yes.
That's what I took at it. Because I'm like, all right, you can suck. It sucks now, but when you get it right, when you get to the CultureCon stage, they were like, you wasn't doing this for years? No. It was my first time.
Stop playing.
I just got here. I just said I could do it. So I'm like, all right, the mission is clear.
Right.
Let's do it. Suck at it a little bit. But that goes back to audacity and belief too. So like, man, I look back on everything and I'm just really, really grateful because I'm like, I sacrificed everything to make a dream happen.
Yeah.
And it's now I'm on the precipice.
Right.
Okay, audience, this is gonna be weird, but every time I use a good word, I give myself a high five.
Okay.
All right.
Stop playing with them.
Yeah. Self-assurance. Love yourself.
I love this.
But like I'm on the precipice of like getting everything that I ever wanted in the way that I see it because of intention, allowing myself to suck, and just being like open to critique. Not only from myself, but from other people.
Right.
People who know what they're doing.
Yes.
And then just being transparent about where I'm at.
Yeah.
Like, and when I connected with you at CultureCon, I'm like, listen, I hear what you're saying. And you're doing the thing.
Yeah.
You just want it right now because you see this person doing it right now. But you don't know how they got there and what they're doing it for, right? So I'm glad that stuck with you because I'm like, seeing you develop and blossom and having a conversation a year and some change later, it's like a completely different field. Like you're doing the whole beat. Because you were doing behind the scenes work before.
I was like, I had my own podcast, but like to go into the foray of like sitting behind the scenes and like that's how I ended up getting the skills of like, oh, I like this production aspect of things. Because I was straight audio. I was not trying to do no visuals for no show at all. Like it was straight audio. Right. But like sitting there on the back of Hung Up Pod, I was like, oh wait, nah. I love like putting together a set and now having a team that is with me along with the journey and just like, oh, I had to hone in my skills from a production aspect again because I knew what it was to like set up a mic. Cool. I'm gonna talk for an hour. I scripted out my stuff. But to have to think around like, cool, what kind of lighting do I want? Do I want this to be soft? Do I want it to be harsh? Do I want like the fake plants? Because dog, these ain't real. I ain't gonna hold. I ain't got it in me. But but also like the use of the mugs and stuff like that. Like, all right, how do I want this to feel? But also thinking around what are the little Easter eggs I want for my show? And there are little things. And again, shout out to Beyonce. But like, yes, truly and honestly. But it's also like I switch up some of the books every once in a while. So right now it says it's Basquiat, and then I got Eric Hart Jr.'s work from here when I think of power.
I did a shoot with him.
Oh
not too long ago, and it was one of the most liberating, freeing things. Eric Hart Jr. is a photographer. He's like 23 years old, and amazing work. When I think about power, it's a book that's on here. It's the intention, his mind, and I'm like, listen, you were at least 12 years younger than me, but also you know how to do something like this. So like, how do we pay attention to the intention that we're putting out there and then building the world that we want to see, because it can only expand once we keep working on it, you know? So like seeing this, this, all this, like finding your beat and all that, like that's dope. I really love that, and like you really made my day. Saying some words, because I be talking some bullshit, and I'm like, all right,
no, that's all right. You niggas be listening. You be saying some good shit.
I be talking with my hands a lot.
Oh,
you know?
they all know. Here. Yep, it's
and you
everywhere.
know what that is? Gesticulation. That's what. Come on. I say that a lot, but it's like no, because that just puts some emphasis on when you sing, right?
Because that's how it is. Like I said, now all roads lead back to Beyonce is how it really works. So I'm just like, every word means something. Every image means something. And so like, how are we able to tailor a space that requires people to go back and like, kind of look now, right? Like that's the first time I talked about like the books and how I like switch them up based on conversation and different things that I keep. But I'm like, no, if you pay attention, this book may change every single week. Yeah. There are specific books that have symbolic references to them. Like the Black Ivy is like, oh no, this is what it meant for like niggas to be able to come and talk and share ideas. But this was like Black people able to take this university aesthetic and still be able to show like, hey, on the stoop, this is how we look when we're sharing ideas. And so that's really like the precipice. Now niggas got me using big words. Yeah, the fuck. Okay.
Wow, my impact.
Okay. Yeah. Wow. Immediately. Yeah, immediately felt. However, I believe like that intention behind it is important because it's like, oh, when people look in the back and then it's like, oh, well, what's Black Ivy? Cool. Let's look at the story behind here. But it's also like shows the power of conversation and sharing ideas, and then what does it mean to share those ideas out to the rest of the world too. And that's also sometimes scary as well, of just like, I don't know how anybody's gonna receive this. I know I like it, but also like for people who are speaking and people who are putting themselves out there, it's very different because now they're getting to know KP, they're getting to know Marquise. It's not like I don't have a Sasha Fierce right now, right?
Okay. And that's okay. Like you don't have to have a Sasha Fierce because Marquise is enough.
And I am.
KP is enough. Like I'm enough. Like. Honestly, just hearing this, it's wow. Like, I want to know more. Like, what was the inspiration behind the book today?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Is
so
it just...
for me, I was like, it's Basquiat. And so, like, just being able to, look at, like, the different art pieces that we're going to have, like, in here. And I think around, like, just the way that you ingest art and stuff like that. So I was just like, oh, no, we got two queer Black men who are also in this space together. And then also, I'm just a huge fan. So I'm like, yeah, wear the crown.
Well, there's
like,
that.
Straight like that.
And that's just that.
I mean, you'll see in the book that I had in the other recording, it's definitely more about like movement work and shit like that. But we out here, it's different. Yeah. So it's just stuff like that. Like I'm just like, there are personal Easter eggs I like to put for each episode of just like, nah, if you peep what's in the background, it's kind of correlates to part of the conversation now. It's like by design, or how does it like associate loosely with a person that we coming on today? So little Easter eggs.
You are really a Virgo. Like this is like quintessential Virgo talk. Like this is what I love about y'all.
Through and through, I love it.
I mean, no, because y'all are so intentional about like every little detail and how it ties it together in a story. Yeah. And get on my goddamn nerves sometimes.
Because you can't tell me I'm wrong, okay?
It gets real strict in here and very told you so-y a lot. But like,
I like to think my Leo moon offsets a lot of things, okay? Because I'm a double Virgo. However, I think it's not yikes, but I think it's a pretty chill space.
Let's ask the audience. Are all these words true, everybody?
Now, Kavan sees me in two different lights. So he sees me because he also works for me. So
okay, got you. Okay.
Good human
person. We hear laughing coming down the hallway.
Oh, yeah. Okay. But the work's going to get done. Systems work.
Oh, yeah, the work is going to work.
Every time.
Work works.
Work works
Did you
every
see
time.
that video? This is how y'all sound. Unemployment. Work works. Crime not on my watch. Oh, yeah.
There is a show happening right now.
Shit. But yes. Two of you.
Yes, that's we out here. KB, I appreciate you so much. But the last thing that I really wanted to talk around is like, how do you prepare yourself for like these new opportunities that are upon you too? Like, you talked around sacrifice, but also like, I think the space of doing something new and doing something innovative on the other side of that sometimes can be fear or excitement around like what's to come. And so how do you kind of like navigate that as you traverse this space? Because I do think that you are at a tipping point now in terms of like how you are able to go in and also command space in a very different kind of way. And also like, no, I'm really him for real. Yeah. So like talk around one, how do you get yourself prepared to enter something new? And then is there a space where you like are able to be like, no, I settled into this confidence of who I am and I know that this is going to be the outcome and the desire that I want?
Those are two questions.
Yes.
All right. So doing new things I just do it before I think about it.
Yeah.
That's it. Because I'm going to do everything scared.
Yeah.
If I do everything scared. I have a Mamba mentality. I have, like, all my great inspirations. They do everything scared.
Yeah.
And I know if I'm scared doing it or have some kind of trepidation
Okay.
about it, then that's what I know I got to do. But also when I'm doing it, like, I have to study it first.
Yeah.
Like, even pivoting into podcasting and community building and all this other good stuff. Like, before I enter any space, I got to be in the space.
Yeah.
Because I can't just, like, slap my name on something and feel right about
Right.
it, right? So I'm like, all right, before I get out here and suck, let me study who's great. Let me get out amongst the people. How are they talking? What do they want to see? Then also mix it in with my information and knowledge that I already know.
Right.
And remix it and make it into something that I can live with.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, and that's
I
how
love that.
I go into everything like that. I gotta talk to the people. How you gonna talk to the people if you ain't talking to the people? Okay. You know, like, you know.
Because are you one of us?
Are you one of us? Listen,
are you like us?
Listen, is it the braids?
Is it the braids?
No, you gotta, like, you really have to deep dive. Like, touching on Kendrick, real as a great example.
Perfect.
Kendrick is the culture, right?
Right.
He knows how to talk to the culture. He knows what y'all are fed up with this man about.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna expose you from A to Z because we're tired of you using cosplay words and actions to sell to a culture you're not even really invested in.
Right.
You really trying on people's culture
Yeah.
and then trying to say, like, you're about it, but then when it's time to speak up, where you at?
He said, and you don't want to
Wait.
post up.
Okay, because you was doing all this, but now it's like,
around.
and you know, and I think at the level that I'm operating now and the spaces that I'm about to enter, I'm like, I gotta have real nigga conversations because, like, one, it's too much fakery going on here, and this isn't at anybody specifically, but I just feel like people are selling themselves, but they don't know themselves. They're selling a product, but they don't know the product. They're selling a community, but you're not a part of the community. You got to get out here. And for me, getting to these heights and getting into these boardrooms, like, I can already talk about this past because whatever. But I had a conversation with people at Paramount Plus for Love at First Night because they're trying to pick it up. So. But like, you know, they don't know nothing. Right. They don't know the culture. They're just gonna give you whatever.
Right.
The numbers. We're looking at numbers. We're looking at numbers. We're looking at numbers. But I'm like, all right, well, this can be some bullshit.
Right.
And I don't want to be attached to no bullshit. But also, if I'm going into a corporate boardroom, I'm like, all right, well, I know what you need to hear corporately in terms of ROIs and how we're going to, all that shit. But also, you need to invest in this community because it's, one, on an upswing. One, it has exposable income. So if you not only invest in this, you can invest in me as a personality, invest in all these other things. And then you'll have a dedicated fan base that is primarily going to work in your favor because they know they see you beyond June. Okay. So, like,
that part.
Yeah. And it's like, because that's how people are talking. Right. So, like, you know, if you don't have your finger on the button or understand what it is, then how you gonna do anything?
And honestly, like, even in the space that we're at right now, I think people don't even and I'm like, not even the fact that people don't realize, but I'm like, dog, like, with a renaissance, with Kid
Lil
Fury,
Nas
Crystal, Lil Nas X, like, if you look at, like, such a space right now, I'm like, Black queer people want the representation and want to see these authentic stories and not just the same trauma that goes on every time. Like, you're telling nuance, you're getting people who are actually wanting to, or who are a part of the culture. So it's not like I'm writing from a space of looking outside, looking in. It is now a space of like, oh no, right now the way that our pop culture climate is looking, gay shit works in your favor.
Black gay shit works in your favor.
That part.
Because we're culture creators.
Yes, and tastemakers. Sorry.
And tastemakers. Like, but the thing is, it's like, we see the representation, but they're not getting paid in the ways that content creators, but you're taking. And it's like, all right, if you create this space to build a relationship in this particular thing, hold conversations with the people and see their human side as opposed to the caricature side, then it's like, all right, well, this is an investment in not only me as a consumer, but me as a person in my lifestyle, saying that you care about me, you care about intersectionality, like all this stuff is able to live and thrive, and it is profitable if you just get the right people in that corner to do it. So, like, we already have the stories. They sell. Like, we did how many numbers? Like,
come on.
I think it was like 3 million views or something over.
He's being modest.
I looked at the one sheet. It wasn't updated. Sorry, but 3 million was the last number I saw.
Okay.
So
he said, wait until I update my certifications. We're going double platinum.
Yeah, we all going diamond. Diamond every episode.
Okay, that part.
But no, but like, there's an audience there, and it's not only niche. It's something. It's a universal story. And if we're looking for new content, if we're not trying to rehash stories that we've heard a million times.
Right.
There's proof in the pudding.
Yeah.
It's right there. But
Every
you got to
time.
know what people are talking about. And you have to have some audacity to push back a little bit and say, like, this isn't what you want, but this is what you need.
Right.
You know, so.
And like, again, you got to do it scared. I love that so much because it's like, even as you were talking in my mind, I immediately went to like August Wilson and just like he created characters who happen to be Black. However, it's also telling the stories that are human first and foremost.
Right.
And that's what people are connecting with. At the end of the day, yes, our different intersections go through different things on a systemic level and even interpersonally. There's little things that we're just like, oh, let's keep between us. Y'all, not this is for us.
Talk.
Okay, that part.
Yeah.
But it's also understanding like everybody can connect to love. Everybody can connect to heartbreak. Everybody can connect to anger and frustration and being content and stuff. And so like, how are we going to continue to drive those stories? And I think, which I appreciate you for, is like, yeah, you're able to not only do this from a theatrical lens and an actor's lens, but you're able to also do it from like, no, even if you just simply listen to the interviews that I conduct, everything's right there. People are here, whether it's outside of the dollar and everything. This is such a loyal base of humans that will always, always ride for what we believe in at the end of the day. And I'm just like, yeah, Black queer creators are going to be pushing so much more because right now, it's also what the world's responding to. Straight niggas using our lingo on the regular.
Okay, well, who was that the other day that was saying something like, don't try it or something like that? I'm like, what the
Don't get me lying, but I said.
Can we talk about that too? Because also, all you straight niggas wearing all this Butch Queen attire, and then I come up to you talking about like, oh, hey. It's like, nah, I ain't with that gay shit. I was like, excuse me? So where are we going? So where do we draw the line? What are we doing here?
Okay.
But also like just to knowing that we have that amount of influence and now visibility, if we mobilize and just use it and stress the importance of how we are impacting culture on a larger basis, consciously or subconsciously. You know what it was? Okay, I just got the reference. I'm sorry.
There we go.
It was Cameron and Mace. He was talking about Dwayne Wade having a nail polish line, but he grabbed his purse and walked out the door. So I'm like, is it Ushiwali on one mic? I just want you to know.
Like, I was confusion in that moment.
Wasn't you the one in the pink fur?
Like,
everything. Butch Queen aesthetic, but also you get mad at him for nails. Like, all right.
I'm about that gay shit, but not that gay shit.
Listen, gay adjacent. I'm around the corner from gay. Can we love you? Have me on. Have me on. It is what it is. I give you a plug. But doing it scared.
Okay. And that's the name of the episode. Yo, KP, thank you so much for one, hopping in this conversation, but also telling your story and just really just showing up as you. This was such a fun interview to have. But also you have so much to share and so much story, and you are able to give so many lessons in everything that you said. I'm just like, yeah, I'm holding on to that. Oh yeah, I can't wait to do that clip. Oh, I'm gonna do that.
If you have a gift, if you have knowledge, give it out for free. Because I think just especially with intentional work and community building with Black queer people,
right?
Don't hoard information. There can be more than one. It's okay. Like it's okay. I'm like, you winning isn't preventing me from winning.
Right.
Actually, like it helps elevate the space.
So much
it's not
more.
Me versus you. It's us versus the problem.
Oh.
And the problem is there not enough of us out here doing things at this level, or doing things right with intention.
Right.
With intention, excuse me.
I know
how to talk.
I was struggling at the beginning of the episode, but we back now.
No,
okay.
See how we turn the wigs around. Turn the numbers around.
Okay,
0202. But no, I know how to talk. But knowledge. Knowledge and work.
Absolutely. Yes. And so, no, just truly to like land this plane, what do you hope people take away from you anytime they interact with the work that you do?
I just want people to be inspired.
Yeah.
Like, do it.
Yeah.
Do it. Go for
That's
it.
all
Do
it
it
is.
scared, sacrifice, do whatever you got to do. But like, just do it. And don't put yourself on a timeline.
Yeah. Oh, okay. That was a shot to me.
No,
he is loud and it is clear.
I am reading myself too, because I had to really sit down and be like, why do you need it to happen right now?
Yeah.
Like, if you got everything you want, why do you need it to happen right now? And then that's a real ass conversation to have with yourself.
Because honestly,
like,
it was
well,
where I was at with it was like I had to learn how to relinquish control, and because control served me as a kid, but like control's not it doesn't serve me the same way that it used to.
Right.
So I used to be like, yeah, by 16 I'm gonna do this, 18 I'm gonna do this, 27 I'm gonna be here with my doctorate, I'm gonna be doing da 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 da.
Yeah.
And I said, boy, you 28.
yeah.
You ain't even where you wanted. Like,
You ain't even
I'm
start.
Yeah, that
You
that
ain't even
part,
start. Like,
I
you
even
just
started,
right?
And so in my mind, I was sitting there. I was like, yeah, I've been podcasting for 7 years. I've been doing this. I've gotten awards. I've been speaking here. Da 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 da. But in reality, I feel like I'm even on like another, like there's another tipping point happening, especially as like different opportunities are coming, different partnerships are happening, and you know, niggas think I'm an influencer now, so we out here. Okay,
He's influenced. I'm here.
okay,
Hello.
let's talk about it. Let's get into it. Yeah, around you other bitches, I don't know.
Yeah.
No, but seriously, like, for me, I realized like controlling everything, it helped me survive as a kid. But like controlling things now, I'm like, nah, like. There are things where I don't know where it's going to take me, but I'm so excited to just be present on the journey. And, you know, that's hard for us Virgos. It really is. But I've been having so much fun because it allows me to open up myself to so many new things that can be coming along for me. But also opportunities I didn't even think about as well. And so that's really where I'm just like, oh, maybe I do want to try this again. Maybe I do want to, you know, sometimes I might get back and using my theater degree and actually like,
But you got time. You're 28.
Yeah, and that's really where it's at.
Yeah, like that's and then the thing, I also want to leave with you because you know I love nuggets.
I appreciate it.
As you leave.
Okay.
Easter eggs and nuggets. So it's like, wow, is it Easter?
Yes.
Yeah. Like, don't be so concerned about the next thing that you don't appreciate what you have right now. Like, you have so many dope people around you. That it's like, all right, I think sometimes we get caught up in trying to get like with Tyler Perry. Yeah. Are we trying to get with,
you know,
y'all gonna fuck up my potential role if
I'm trying to get my braids.
No, but it's like we're trying to like reach Issa Rae, we're trying to reach Tyler Perry, we're trying to reach like all these people. You might have Tyler Perry right next to you. You might have Issa Rae right next to you. Like, there's so many dope people in your network that are doing dope things. They just like utilize them and then make the experiences. Like with me and Mark, the photographer he was telling you about earlier, like that's my nigga. Like that's my friend.
Truly.
But we met because I loved his work. And I'm like, no. It's like, oh, I actually like you. But every time I do something, whether it's on a shoot, whether it's for a commercial, whether it's for whatever, right? I love to have a conversation to be like, hey, here's my intention of what I want to do.
Right.
And I'm going to let you do your thing.
Right.
And what he taught me, circling back to what you were saying with control, is like, just trust me in my process.
Yeah.
And do it.
That's beautiful.
And it's like, all right, well, you know, because I'm Beyonce. So, like, I need it to look like this. But it was like, no, I got you. And then also understanding that, like, if you have faith in yourself and your circle, it's going to take you far. Yeah. Because if you don't have faith in what you got going on or in your circle, then you ain't going to go far. Because it's like, all right, niggas will tell you what you want to hear all the time.
Every time. I don't want yes people.
Right. And they're not going to tell you what you need to hear. Like, you look stupid right now.
Right.
You don't look stupid right now.
No, I didn't. Maybe never.
For clarification, audience clarification. It's like, no, I need somebody to be like, no, you look fucking stupid right now. Right. Or, like, you might not want to do it like that or try it like this because, like, you look stupid. Yeah. And that's okay. Like, it's okay. It's not a thing. Like, I'm not above critique, and don't be above critique, but also have that solid team and make sure the same people you starve with, you eat with too. So
that's my people over there.
Yeah.
Yes. Dog, thank you so much for coming on the show.
That was 45 minutes?
Yeah, I think we went over 45. Yeah. We cool it.
See, when you know how to hold a conversation, come on. It's given. Right? I was like, oh, I was like, shit.
Going.
But no, I'm really proud of you, and I'm like,
thank you.
I'm really proud of you.
I appreciate
like, you. I just gotta make sure I say that to everybody because I'm in my year of Zen.
Yeah. Ooh, yes.
Yeah, because you know. Fuck it. Do it. Cause fucking and do it. And why? Why not? You know?
Okay.
Fucking and do it.
I mean,
wow, that's a soundbite.
Okay, get it.
But no, I'm just like really peaceful after everything because like, you know when you build something and you just get to a state of, oh, okay. Yeah, that was it? Oh, okay, cool.
We got it.
All right, yeah, I got it. It's like you just reach a level of gratitude and then when you see other people just making sure that like, you say it like I'm proud of you. It's happening. Things are happening, right? And they're going to continue to happen. But like just let it happen.
Yeah. No, thank you.
Absolutely.
So I keep saying it. I feel like we're doing a church goodbye because I'm just like I'm just really enjoying the moment. And one more thing, actually.
You know, actually, I gotta go. But you know,
okay. But it was so, did you hear about?
Actually, no. Actually, no. Go on.
Land this plane. KP, please let the people know where they can find you.
I can currently be seen. I am the host of my YouTube series, Making a Moment, which is a weekly conversation with Black queer men. We create safe spaces to give people context and show up as they are and just have real nigga talk. Good morning and good every day to niggas and niggas only. Period.
We already know what it is.
But also, I'm working on a couple projects. I have a few commercials I'm doing, and then the I isn't dotted and T isn't crossed yet, so I can't say that. But we'll talk. Actually, we will talk. Cut the cameras. Dead ass. Dead ass. But no, there's a couple things coming on. So you can just follow me on Making a Moment .official. But my personal page is KP_official #1. The #1. So
cool.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Please make sure that you are keeping up with this man's work. I am such a fan, and like, if I did not know you, I'm gonna be a fan. Now that I know you, I'm even more of a fan. At the end of the day. So y'all, I will leave all of his information in the description box below. Please make sure you subscribe to his channel, all that good stuff. Thank you. I keep saying it. Y'all, I will see you next week. Peace.